The Concession Club has its history with that concession of a putt in the 1960s.
And I had a knee knocker left.
Is that what it was, about 2 feet?
It was 2 feet.
He's probably going to win the money title on the European Tour, and he'll be Player of the Year, probably on both.
I'm going to open the face, take my normal grip. Now, all I have...
Well, and again, it is time for Inside Golf. Hi again, everybody. I'm Harry Donahue, and today, Inside Golf is at the Concession Club in Bradenton, Florida. The Concession Club has its history with that concession of a putt in the 1969 Ryder Cup as Jack Nicklaus conceded a 2-foot putt to Tony Jacklin of the European team. It wound up in a half match and a half for the entire competition. And Tony Jacklin will be just one of the people we'll be talking to today as Inside Golf comes to Bradenton, Florida for the Concession Challenge. We'll be back to meet some of the principals of the Concession Club and some of the participants of this year's Concession Challenge from the Philadelphia area as Inside Golf continues in just a moment.
Inside Golf is brought to you by Yuengling, America's oldest brewery. Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, where America goes to play. Visit online at phillytomyrtle.com. By Nike Golf, and by the Philadelphia Section PGA, celebrating 90 years.
The Philadelphia section of the PGA of America is celebrating 90 years. Since 1921, the professionals of the Philadelphia section have proven themselves to be the players, teachers, managers, and stewards of the game of golf in the Philadelphia area. They are the experts in the game and business of golf. Please join us in celebrating our 90-year commitment to the game of golf.
Colleen Wolf's wardrobe is provided by Adidas, the leader in men's and women's apparel for the athletic golfer.
Welcome back, Inside Golf here at the Concession in Bradenton, and our guest and our host is Bruce Cassidy, Jr. Bruce, first of all, thanks for having all these guys from Philadelphia. Second time around for most of them, and I'll tell you, your hospitality is right at the top of the charts.
Oh, thanks, Harry. As I said earlier, I just hope they enjoy as much as we do. We love having this type of competition, and you brought a great bunch of guys down to us.
Concession Golf Club, of course, the history, the concession, Jack Nicklaus conceding a putt to Tony Jacklin. And Tony, of course, lives on the near the golf course. He's here a lot of the times. We'll be talking to him later. But that one moment is responsible for this fantastic golf course and clubhouse and everything else. What are the future plans for Concession Club?
Well, as you said earlier about the concession, I mean, most people consider that one of the greatest acts of sportsmanship of all time. And that's how we try to operate the club here. It's a relaxed atmosphere. I think you'll find a stuffy person here. At the same time, it's as good a championship course we believe you can find in the country. But our plans going forward is we've really embraced the Ryder Cup type of format, a match play type format. And just like having the clubs from Philly here for 3 days of competition, we've had other clubs down. And in 2012, we're going to host the Big Ten Match Play Championships here, along with the Callaway Match Play Championships as well. Now, beyond that, well, we hope to have some point in time had some early discussions about potentially a President's Cup here, maybe a Solheim Cup, and possibly even a U.S. Open at some point in time.
And I know we talked earlier, the Ryder Cup would be obviously a great location considering the history of the Concession Golf Club, but the weather down in Florida in September and October may not be the best spot, right?
Yeah, we've more or less been told already that based on September, time of year when they have the Ryder Cup, right in the middle of hurricane season, the chances are almost slim to none that we would ever get a Ryder Cup here.
Right, right. Well, how about your game? We had a chance to go out and play with you a little bit, and we had a great match, went down to the final hole yesterday.
It did. We had and that's all the competitions we had pretty much went down to the end, and I'm actually surprised because our course really begins at the greens. You know, it's not that the tee shots that easy, but really, as you saw yesterday, the speed of the greens, the undulation, the bunkering around the greens. And we were really impressed with the competitors, how well they putted and managed the greens. That's our big advantage here, and didn't seem to work for us as well yesterday as we hope to win.
I think it was you that mentioned nobody's ever out of the hole until the hole is complete, right? A lot of things can happen the closer you get to that cup.
It only begins once you get up to the green.
Bruce, thanks again for being so hospitable to all of us from the Philadelphia area. We hope to come back and play some more in the Concession Challenge.
Okay. Thank you, Harry, and we hope it goes year after year after year.
Thanks, Bruce.
Thank you.
We have Jimmy Wright, the great ambassador of golf here at the Concession Golf Club. And Jimmy, you went through this last year with the same teams, well, different clubs, but same event. You're enjoying it again this year?
Oh, Tony, this is even better than last year. I thought last year was really special, and you couldn't outdo yourself, but you did this year. You brought in some great players, and White Marsh Club is really doing some great playing. I followed them for 2 days, and they're solid.
Well, they're all going off right now. We're going to follow some of the players out there. Again, thanks to Jimmy Wright and the staff at the Concession Golf Club for all their help.
Thank you so much, Tony.
Well, the host professional here at beautiful Concession, Barry Hinckley. And Barry, you're relatively new on the job here, correct?
That's correct. I've been here since January of this past year, so just a little bit under a year.
Right. Tell us a little bit about your history. I know you're from Ohio originally.
I'm from Columbus, Ohio, yeah, and graduate of Stetson University down here in Florida. After college, I played professionally for about 10 years. Made my way back to Columbus and spent the last 5 years before here at Scioto Country Club, historic Scioto Country Club, where home most famous for Jack Nicklaus.
Jack Nicklaus basically learned to play the game back at Scioto. This must be like a dream come true to come to a facility like this. The history, even though it's only relatively in its infant stages, 6 years, but the history of the Concession and Tony Jacklin and seeing Tony almost on a daily basis.
It's a pretty special place, and we talk a lot about the experience out here, and the experience really was born in 1969 in the Ryder Cup with Jack Nicklaus conceding the putt to Tony Jacklin. They've designed this wonderful golf course, 530 acres, and part of the special experience out here is there's no home sites on the golf course. It's a really, really unique experience, especially for Florida.
Yeah, you know, Tony made a point, Tony Leodora, talking to Tony Jacklin about the acreage and the fact that that allows a golf course design to take on various types of shapes, dog legs left, dog legs right, par threes going in different directions, so that it really expands the experience in terms of what to expect when you're out there.
Absolutely. It's a very, very special place. You know, from the championship tees, it's just under 7,500 yards, slope rating of 155, which is the highest that USGA will allow, course rating of 77.8. But with that said, the great thing that Jack Nicklaus and Tony Jacklin did with their design is we have 5 different sets of tee boxes, and a golfer of any skill level can enjoy this golf course if they're on the correct set of tee boxes. So they've done a great job in designing the golf course.
Tony Jacklin said that if you can shoot your handicap at the Concession Club, you can play anywhere in the world.
Well, at the Concession, yeah, if you can shoot your handicap here, you know, you're obviously a very good player. It's a very demanding golf course, to be sure. Very much of a second shot golf course. But with that said, for every pin placement that we have on our greens, there's places where, you know, if you miss it in the wrong spot, you're not going to be able to get up and down. But for every pin placement we have, there's plenty of places for you to miss it to have easy up and downs. Very demanding on the second shots.
I know since playing here a couple rounds, you look like you hit a great shot in there to that green, and it's going to be maybe a 3 or 4 foot putt, and all of a sudden it continues to roll out. Next thing you know, you're off the green.
Yeah,
that happens, doesn't it?
It does happen. You know, and our philosophy here at the Concession Golf Club is firm and fast. We like the golf ball to bounce and roll, and so we don't add a lot of water to the greens, and we like the greens to be firm and the fairways to be running.
Good luck to you, Barry, in this new job, and thanks for having us.
Thank you so much for being here.
And coming up, we'll meet the man who is partially responsible for Concession's name and its design.
His ball out the hole, he picked my marker up at the same.
Immediately, huh?
Yeah.
Were you hoping he was going to do that?
Experience what golfers voted #1 for quality, selection, and affordability. Over 100 different championship courses, including 7 of America's 100 greatest. Indulge in gourmet cuisine, pristine beaches that offer endless activities, active nightlife, and more. It's an easy drive, and affordable nonstop flights are now available from over 25 cities. Start planning your Myrtle Beach golf vacation today and request a free quick quote for the best package rates. Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. It's where America goes to play.
Well, there wouldn't be a Concession Club without Tony Jacklin, because in 1969 in the Ryder Cup, he and Jack Nicklaus made history in the best style of sportsmanship, with that Jack conceding to you a putt that meant a half, and it probably is one of the top moments in the history, not only of the Ryder Cup, but in golf. Tony, would you agree?
Yeah, it was a great moment of sportsmanship. We were friends. We had a tussle all day. We were playing 36 holes back then on the final day singles, and I played him in the morning and got the better of him. He wasn't on the top of his game, and all afternoon we battled and came down to 18 all square, and I promise you that's not where you want to be. The pressure's there's a lot of pressure. You know, it's not just about you, it's about your team and your tour and all the rest of it. And I had a knee knocker left.
Is that what it was, about 2 feet?
It was 2 feet. And
any break in the putt?
No, it was straight, and the greens weren't as pure as they are these days, though, and it was missable, imminently missable, and Jack holed a 4.5 footer. He ran his first putt way by, and when he picked his ball out the hole, he picked my marker up at the same time.
Immediately, huh?
Yeah.
Were you hoping he was going to do that?
It wasn't in my head. It wasn't in my head because, you know, I just knew, and I was so hardened to you know, mentally tough in those days. And I said, whatever else happens, you're going to have to make this putt at Jacklin, and that was it. And when I was quite shocked, and there was two emotions, shock and relief at the time.
Is it true he said to you, I know you're going to make that putt?
He said, I don't think you would have missed that putt, but I would never give you the opportunity in these circumstances.
And you and Jack have become close friends and collaborated on the design of the Concession Club.
Yeah, I had the idea to, when I quit playing senior golf, I was sort of looking for something to do and get stuck into, and that's when I had the idea of, and I went to a developer with the idea, and it didn't happen overnight, but we got it done, and it's really special. The golf course is fantastic, and we had a lot of fun doing it, and well, you know, it's a great legacy to leave behind.
Absolutely, and it is a challenge for any skilled golfer, but it all comes down to the greens. And a 2-foot putt here, one similar to what Jack conceded to you, is a lot of people would like to have Jack Nicklaus playing with them and get that given to them.
That's right. Well, when we did the golf course, we were both agreed on the fact that we needed to make the greens challenging, and they are. And it's the course is challenging off the tips. It's all the golf course you'd ever want, and but our members love it because it's how golf used to be. It's out in God's outer doors, the country. There's no home sites. There's no noise out there when you're playing, and you know, there's a lot to enjoy here, and certainly the conditioning of the golf course. We've got a great superintendent in Terry Kennelly. He does a great job. Basically left alone. You know, he's a 2-handicap golfer himself. Wow. Plays with Bruce Cassidy, the owner, quite regularly, and myself. So we have fun here, and we just want as many people from around the world to see it as possible.
Well, we're from Philadelphia, of course, and you have a little history with the city of Philadelphia and some of the great golf courses. Marion, I'm sure, comes to mind, and Pine Valley, but also back in the 70s and 80s, White Marsh Valley Country Club hosted for some 20 years a Pro Tour event, and I understand that you and Billy Casper had a funny thing happen to you when you were playing at White Marsh.
Yeah, it wasn't funny at the time. We played the wrong balls. We both were in the semi-rough, and you know, it was quite long semi-rough, and I extricated my ball, he extricated his ball. We got up to the green and said, hey, and we realized what we'd done. We'd played the wrong ball, and
2-shot penalty.
2 shots apiece. Yeah, it hurt at the time, but we had a lot of fun playing there. And of course, Marion was where I defended my U.S. Open. I didn't do it very well. I missed the cut there. It was very tight. And
was that the year that Lee pulled the rubber snake out on Jack in the playoff?
1971, exactly. Yeah. So, but you have some wonderful courses around your area. You're spoilt for choice, really. So I need to get up there again while I'm able at some stage to.
Well, you know, the Marion's going to host the Open in 2013, so maybe it's time that you booked your flight and came back to Philadelphia.
Well, they invite me every year, and it might be a good one to go to. You're right.
Tony, thank you very much for going down memory lane with us today and for everything you've done for the Concession Club.
You're very welcome. Thank you.
For a second straight year, Concession hosted a few Philadelphia area clubs in a 2-day Ryder Cup-style competition. Represented were 4-man teams from Bluebell, Cedarbrook, North Hills, Squires, White Marsh Valley, and a team from the host club.
There it is.
Oh my God.
Oh. To win the hole.
Well, you've heard of man on the street reporters. How about a man on the course reporter? It's hard to believe we let Tony Leodora loose with a live mic, but here he is with the guys that made up the Concession Challenge.
Jay Logan from the home Concession Club, and Jay just rolled one in for eagle on this par 5.
Absolutely. Absolutely. You get lucky every once in a while.
That looked like a little bit more than luck there. What did you hit to the green?
I hit a 4-iron. I hit a driver. Fortunately, we're downwind today. So I hit a driver. I got, got it right in the sweet spot. And then hit a 4-iron with the wind. It just rode the wind right in, and there I was.
Brian, you just had the wind taken out of your sails of an amazing birdie with a great up and down from behind us over the bunker. An incredible shot. You knocked it within 2 inches of the cup, and this guy rolls in an eagle on you.
Yeah, it was one of those shots that you didn't think you were going to lose the hole. Next thing you know, eagle putt goes right in. Fantastic play. This course is great. I'm having a passionate love-hate relationship with it so far.
Joe Sosnowski, the captain of the Bluebell team. Joe, it looked like you hit a good one there.
Yes, I did, but I think our four caddy just gave me that proverbial signal, so I don't know whether I'm in the pine straws behind a tree or whether I got a good enough lie to hit the green on my next shot. I'm hoping for the latter.
That's right, your partner Bill McCulloch striped one.
Oh my God, did you see Bill's shot? He took the line you're not supposed to take here, and he probably is right in front of the crick down there in front of the green. That was unbelievable.
He often walks the line you're not supposed to take.
Exactly.
Jim McAllister playing for the White Marsh Valley team. That was a great shot you hit there, Jim.
Well, thanks, Tony. Yeah, hit a 6-iron, laid off a little bit, and cut it into a right to left wind, and got lucky, and really fortunate the camera was here too.
Timing is everything.
Because on the last hole, I hit it in the water.
We've got Sandy Reagan and Richie Green, 2 veterans, 2 years on the Cedarbrook team. Sandy, of course, hasn't gotten any easier, has it?
Oh, this is impossible. It's a great golf course, great facility, and they couldn't treat you any better. It's wonderful.
And Richie, you get a view of the team in front of you, watch them play the green here. It doesn't help that much, does it?
No, these are some of the most treacherous greens I've ever played, but they're very fair too. It's a great place. It's a great time to be here. Great weather. We're happy to be here. Thank you.
When all the scores were finally tallied up, White Marsh Valley was on top of the leaderboard, followed by Concession, North Hills, Bluebell, Cedarbrook, and Squires. But everyone would agree, nobody lost.
If 5 friends are having a light beer and they all put their drinks down in the same place, how long will it take to find the Yuengling Light Lager? About that long, because the rich amber color of Yuengling Light Lager makes it stand out from the rest. The true lager flavor, however, makes it disappear. 99 calories, 100% authentic lager. Yuengling Light Lager, from America's oldest brewery. Rethink your light beer.
Guests of Inside Golf enjoy dining at Sin Sin, the popular Asian fusion restaurant located on Germantown Avenue in the heart of scenic Chestnut Hill.
And now it's time for Teed Off, brought to you by Yuengling, America's oldest brewery.
I think it's not the same achievement as having won.
Welcome back. Inside Golf continues with Teed Off, and our panel assembled today at the Founders Room at North Hills Country Club, and that panel consists of Merle Reese, an icon, Eagles broadcaster, now in his, 4th decade of doing play-by-play for the Philadelphia Eagles.
102nd consecutive season.
Unbelievable. That's incredible, Merle. Chris Wheeler, talk about icons. He's been doing Phillies baseball since the 70s as well. Wheels, always a pleasure.
Thank you, Harry. Great to see you guys.
Both of these guys, of course, members at Bluebell Country Club, and so is Tony Leodora. I got the trifecta here.
Yeah,
Tony
right.
from Golf Styles Magazine and, of course, Golf Talk Live on WNTP, 990 AM on Saturday mornings. Merle, let's begin with you. Recently, down at Orlando at Disney World, Luke Donald, on the final day of the Children's Miracle Network tournament, was 5 shots off the pace when he teed off. He started his back 9 and birdied the first 6 holes and won the tournament by 2 shots. But more than that, he won the money title on the PGA Tour. He's probably going to win the money title on the European Tour, and he'll be Player of the Year, probably on both. Whatever has happened, shall we, first with golf, is there anything similar to that? I mean, no one has ever won the individual money titles on the PGA and the European Tour in the same year.
No, I think that's very impressive. And I like Luke Donald. I think he's a great golfer. In fact, I went out and bought his number 7 Odyssey putter.
When?
This season.
Okay.
But it works better for him. but the interesting thing is, here is a guy who does not hit the ball prodigious distances, and he's just
unlike you, Merle.
Unlike me. Yeah. But manages to win. I mean, he is an amazing player. However, Harry, this is a sport that I believe is all about majors. And as good an accomplishment as that is, and as much as that means in the pocketbook, I think it's not the same achievement as having won 2 majors.
So way to rain on his parade. Well, Merrill, wow.
That's what
this sport is about majors.
Tony, like when you throw a guy under the bus after doing something like that. Tony, you agree with that or not?
He is right. He is right. But in just keeping in the moment of him doing that on that last week, knowing what he had to do, then going out on the last day and 6 straight birdies.
6
amazing. And I said it's like winning the rushing title and the passing title in the same year in football. You know, it probably hasn't happened since the 30s, the single wing days. Or in baseball, you know, it's like the Triple Crown, even more so, though. I mean, it really is pretty amazing.
He wouldn't have won it if that ball hadn't moved on Webb Simpson.
Well, there's Merle bringing up the rules,
really?
And that's a whole other topic.
He called that on himself.
Yeah. Wheels, speaking about baseball, Tony referenced the Triple Crown. Is it similar?
Well, you know, I've always admired golfers for a long, long time. Now, it's probably a little bit different now because they have more things where they can get income from. But to me, they were the more remarkable athletes because they were all independent contractors. And if they didn't win, or if they didn't get into a certain level, they didn't make any money. You know, if they don't make the cut, little things like that. I mean, obviously in our sport, you know, guys have guaranteed contracts. They're going to make their money when the season starts. So then it's kind of up to them what they can do. And a lot of times what they do individually, a lot of it has to do with how their team is. You know, or guys on base for guys to knock in. If you have a lousy team, you're not going to be knocking anybody in. So I have really always admired golfers, I think, for that. As far as our sport goes, yeah, Tony mentioned the Triple Crown. If you could win the Cy Young and the MVP in the same year, the same body that could do that. The quadruple double now in baseball, doubles, triples, homers, stolen bases, double figures in them. That's a rare body that is put on this earth that can do those kind of things that have speed and power like that. But going back to golf, is you know, I love the game so much, and I've always, you know, other than Penn State football, and golf has always been something that I've really loved. To me, those guys, they had to go out and produce to make money, and there are very few sports where it's that way.
You know, the one thing, in addition, that happened to him here, we talked about winning the titles, all these things, he also shed that horrible thing they kept saying about him ever since he became the #1 ranked player in the world back in May. It was always followed by, he's the #1 ranked player, but he's not really the best player in the world. Or is he the best player in the world? After that performance, I know he still needs to win a major, but he is the best player in the world right now.
Well, let's hope that Luke gets his major, and then he'll be really recognized.
He had the best season, but he's not the best player in the world.
Right.
Who is?
It's tough to tell. I mean, there are so many great players this year. I mean, you look at Charles Schwartzel after that tournament, you say, you know, how could anyone beat him until the next tournament? I mean, it changes from major to major now. There is no one dominant player. I think Luke Donald is one of the best players, but he had the best 2011, but I don't think he's the best player in the world.
It's like any other sport. Baseball, basketball, football. If what you do in the postseason in big games really sets your legacy.
Yes.
Will this set the legacy for Luke Donald? Maybe, but until he gets that elusive major or turns off his cell phone.
Here, Luke Donald is calling right now. Yes, Luke. What can I do for you? Tell Merrill to go to hell. All right. We've got it right here.
Luke said it's like getting into 5 NFC championships and only 1 Super Bowl.
That's right. Who did that we know? Hey, we'll be back. Lou Guzzi, he's never won a major, but he's a great golf instructor. Lou's next on Inside Golf. How's that phone working for you?
North Hills Country Club is more than a golfing experience. It's the people, the atmosphere, and the family fun. For more than 100 years, at North Hills, golfers become great friends.
The Philadelphia section of the PGA of America is celebrating 90 years. Since 1921, the professionals of the Philadelphia section have proven themselves to be the players, teachers, managers, and stewards of the game of golf in the Philadelphia area. They are the experts in the game and business of golf. Please join us in celebrating our 90-year commitment to the game of golf.
Nike Golf, in partnership with the Philadelphia Section PGA, present Better Golf.
Hey folks, Lou Guzzi here at beautiful Tallamore Country Club. I violated one of my rules. I am not in the fairway, as you can see. That flag is to the right. I've got trees in the way. I can't hit over the trees from 210 yards. I've got to start this golf ball well left. Now, we're going to talk about moving the ball left to right. I've got a 3-iron in my hand, and what I'm going to do is preset the positions. I'm not going to change my golf swing. I'm not going to try to make it move left to right or right to left. I'm going to open the face, take my normal grip. Now, all I have to do is learn how to aim this shot. I'm going to make my normal swing, and it's going to move left to right based on how much I decide I want to roll that face open. And that information is going to come from the driving range. I'm prepared to hit this shot. I'm going to aim well left, probably 40 yards left right now, because that's where I'm open to move it left to right. Here's what you have to remember. If you're not comfortable with this shot, if you haven't practiced it on the range, it's going to be really hard to aim out of bounds towards those trees. Because if that golf ball doesn't move left to right, you're out of bounds. I know it's going to move left to right. I've got the courage to hit this shot. I'm going to aim the club, open face. I'm probably 50 yards left of where I want this golf ball to eventually curve to. I'm set up. Now I'm going to make my regular golf swing and let the club take care of the rest with this open face. Here we go. Let's get back into position. Beautiful left to right shot. That ball's moving about 40 yards left to right. It's back in play. It's in the fairway. It's about 20 yards from the green. You can see the downward strike of the 3-iron. Golf ball, then ground contact. Work on your movement right to left and left to right. Just change the shape. Open the face, close the face, make your normal swing. I know this tip's going to help you with your game. And remember, keep them in the fairway.
And that's going to do it for this week's edition of Inside Golf. Hope that you enjoyed our tour around the beautiful Concession Golf Club. Our thanks to Bruce Cassidy Sr. and Tony Jacklin for making us feel so happy and so, well, at home here in Bradenton. That's going to do it for Inside Golf. Remember, no matter how bad it's going for you, whether here in Florida or anywhere, don't pick up. See you next time on Inside Golf.
Inside Golf has been brought to you by Yingling, America's oldest brewery. Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, where America goes to play. Now fly nonstop on Spirit Airlines. Details at phillytomyrtle.com. By Nike Golf. And by the Philadelphia Section PGA, celebrating 90 years.